Okay, so I have two big wins in this video, and I'm sure you already saw one of them, but I'll tell you right now that the second win is nothing compared to the one you just saw. I'm willing to bet my whole YouTube channel, all of my credit cards, and $1,000 in crypto that you will never guess how much money I made from this strategy right here. And I did all of this with only having $8 inside of my balance. So you might want to stick around a little bit longer so you can see that win, because you never know, you probably could do it too. So let's get into it. Like I said before, we have $8 inside of our balance, and I want to show you the conditions. These right here are the conditions, so pause the video if you need to, and I'll explain in a second what inspired me to make this strategy. So for condition number 10, on every one loss, you want to increase the amount 200.014, and I'll also show you how I got this number. So with our $8 balance and a base bet of the lowest amount, we can only increase on loss up to 200.14 while keeping the highest amount of losses possible and still being able to profit when we win. So if we put the last digit to a 5, we only get 12 losses in a row, but adjusting that tiny amount will allow us to squeeze one extra loss in, and you need that. So this is how we got the increase on loss amount. For condition number 11, first streak of 6 losses, you can set it to any number you want to, but the more losses you put before you set the amount is a lot safer, and I was taking a risk for a higher reward, so I put 5 losses. Now for the set amount, you want to put it at the lowest amount possible, which is 0.0000 with 4 zeros, then 1001. And I would recommend to leave it on this amount no matter what your balance is, but maybe only adjust the amount of losses before you set your bet amount, but that's it. Now, before we start, I want to tell you what inspired me to make this strategy in the first place. I've been playing wheel a lot for like the past week or two, and I had a strategy where I waited for about 10 losses in a row before I placed a bet. Then I would martingale it, and it seemed to work perfect, but the only thing that I didn't like was waiting for the 10 losses in a row, because it would happen, but it'll take forever to happen sometimes, but eventually it would. So I thought about why not try to create this same exact strategy but inside of dice, because I could put it on first streak of 10 losses. As you can see on wheel medium risk, they have 5 different multipliers you can hit, including a 0x, which is the same as a loss. So I pretty much created the same thing inside of dice, and now I don't have to wait for those losses in a row because I added that condition, the first streak of 5 losses or 10 losses or however many losses you want before the bet amount sets. Then finally, I added a 1% win chance to the strategy, which is pretty much a 100x, because I thought, like, why didn't Will add the 100x? And the answer is that people will probably hit it too many times, and they don't want that to happen. But pretty much that's the backstory of why I made this strategy in the first place. So back to the strategy. You want to set the win chance to a 66 so it can reset back to 66 after a win, and then you want to start autoplay. As you can see, the bet amount doesn't start until after 5 losses in a row. And I would say the best way to run this method without losing your entire balance is to put increase on loss on like 100 or even 50 or like 75, somewhere in between. That way you can still get a nice profit on those big hits, and also you'll be able to go on a much higher losing streak. You won't recover and make a profit on every single bet, but once you hit those big multipliers, you can recover. Also, if you take a look at the graph to the left, it's not 100% accurate, but it's good enough for this session to see if we have any big dips or not. So now we have a big hit coming up, and I'll show you the amount we hit at and also the win chance we hit on. As you can see, that was a perfectly timed hit, because one more loss, we would have lost our entire balance, but luckily we hit it. And with this strategy, I hit the same exact amount about 8 times in the past week, so getting a hit like this is not too uncommon. Okay, I put the profit inside of the vault, and now we have $8 in the balance again, and it's only right that we keep on going because that was way too quick in our session. And I'll tell you now that this is where we got the biggest hit that I ever seen with this strategy, so you gotta see this one. I'll admit it that being one loss away from losing my entire balance felt a little bit too close, so I'll add one more loss to condition 11. That way we'll get one extra loss, and now we'll start autoplay. I'll speed everything up really quick, and I'll also slow it down. I'll even put it in slow motion for you so you can see the exact hit. The next win did take a little bit longer in the session, but everything is going 100 times the speed, so you'll be able to see it in no time. Okay, the big hit is coming, and I made sure to put it in slow motion so you can see it better. Here's the losing streak where we hit it right here. And bang, $520. I know it's hard to believe, and that's why I put it in slow motion for you. I do believe it's a lucky hit, but you do have to realize that I put myself in a position to get lucky. It's like you'll never be able to win if you never go for it. So I think this strategy right here is well worth it. Here's the win right here on the leaderboard so you can see that I'm telling the truth. But this strategy is a gold mine if you can hit the 100x with a nice size bet. Lately I added a 1000x and a 10,000x to the strategy, and on loss I increased it to 50%. I still get decent hits, but it's nothing like the $500 hit you just saw. But I'll keep on running it, and I'll update you guys on a bigger hit than this one. But I really hope this works for you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know.